Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, hello, my name is V. I post nail tutorials every Thursday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. Central Time. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss out on future videos, as I do insert giveaways in them randomly. I'm so excited to be bringing this video to you guys because it is highly requested. I'm going to be showing you how I achieve 5 different shapes. Now, I did want to mention that these are my personal interpretations of these shapes. You might not agree with them, and that is okay. Everybody has their different techniques, so I did want to throw that out there. Now, that being said, I always say this in my videos, and it is important that you guys are aware that just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So I want you guys to find your comfort zone and stick to it. Find techniques that work for you, and hopefully mine helps you a ton. Let's get into the video. Getting right into today's video, I am using these natural tips from Macart. They are linked in my Amazon storefront, and don't forget to use my discount code if you guys do shop their website. I decided to use these specific tips because they are square and they are natural, so it's going to be easier for you guys to tell the difference once I'm done shaping the nails. I do highly suggest you guys check these tips out. I absolutely love them. They are more on the straight side, so they give that faux sculpted look, which does really help tremendously when you are trying to shape nails. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you tapered square, coffin, stiletto, almond, and then round. I am using my Tammy Taylor peel and stick file for this video, and here I'm showing you how you want to hold your hand file. So I'm not going to overly slant it. I'm also not going to hold it where I can see the actual file part. You want to make sure it is nice and straight. What I'm going to be doing with tapered square is tapering in the sides just slightly. Here I'm showing you exactly what area of the tip I want to remove. Once you have a mental picture, it's going to be so much easier to kind of figure out where you need to file. So as you can see, it's going to be the least amount of filing on this specific shape. So I'm holding my file nice and straight. I'm tapering it in slightly, and then I'm going to start filing. So the way I shape my nails is I'm going to be constantly moving from side to side. This helps tremendously because you are able to get an even file throughout. So again, hold your file nice and straight, and as you can see, it's already tapering in even though I've done very minimal shaping. So point your file in lightly, gently, file from side to side. Continue to move from the right side to the left side, from the left side to the right side, so you can get that even file. And with little effort, you will start seeing that the shape is coming into perfection. I do highly recommend you guys get a really good file because this is going to be crucial. If the file is flimsy, this can mess up your shape, and I feel like a lot of techs don't realize that. I'm going to be filing the tip as well. As you can see, it's lightly rounded from it being the natural tip. And so I'm just going to be taking my file, holding it horizontally and filing it very, very lightly until it's nice and straight. I do recommend you guys to dust off any excess dust because it does help you see the shape better. And in comparison from the ring finger to the pinky, you can tell tremendously what big of a difference that made. And it was little effort for the tapered square, but you can definitely see the major difference in the two. Now I'm going to be doing my ring finger into a coffin. This is going to be basically the same process. We're just tapering it in just a little bit more. So in order to get this perfect, what I like to do is take my craft scissors and nip off just a little bit of both of the sides. What this helps is just take down your time when it comes to filing with the actual hand file. As you can see, it's like the smallest amount that I'm clipping off, but even that cuts down your time filing. So I do highly recommend you guys do this, especially when you're doing thinner shapes. I'm going to be taking my hand file and filing the sides again, holding my hand file nice and straight, filing vertically up and down from the right side to the left side, from the left side to the right side. This one you do want to hold your file slightly inwards, just a little bit more, but it's not as necessary because we did already clip off some of the tip. And I'm going to continue to file until I am happy with the shape. Again, make sure you're holding your file nice and straight. If you bend it inwards to where you can see the file, it's going to round the corners, and when it comes to coffin, you want them to be super straight. And I'm filing the tip just to square everything off and make sure everything is nice and perfect. And as you can see, when I hold it straight down, you can see the gap where it is now. And then you can see the difference from the pinky to the ring finger. This one is more straight, and this one is more narrow in the center. As you can see, where the nail plate is and the tip is a lot thinner. So that's one way you can compare the shape. You want the nail bed or the natural nail plate to be a lot wider than the actual tip of the coffin shape. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to file until it is nice and straight. And of course, continue to dust off any dust so you can see exactly what you're doing, and make sure you file the tip of it as well so everything is nice and straight. But as you can see the difference from the pinky and the ring finger. Now moving on to our stiletto shape. So it is important that you mentally make a line straight down the center of the nail. You want it to be nice and straight down the middle, and have that in the back of your head so you mentally know exactly where you need your point to be. So I'm taking my craft scissors again and cutting a larger side off, and then I'm doing that on the other side as well. So when I'm actually doing it on clients, I cut way more off, but because I understand this is a beginner video, I'm trying to make it a lot easier for you guys. So now I'm taking it where the free edge of the natural nail is. You want to file that all the way straight down into your mental picture of that straight line. You want to make sure you're not filing past the free edge of the nail. Very important, as you can damage their natural side walls. So I'm going in and making sure that my file is as straight as possible, tapering it in very lightly, and then filing from the right to the left, from the left to the right, and continuing to move back and forth until that point gets smaller and smaller and it is perfectly in the center. Once you get a little bit more comfortable with your scissors and all of that, you can cut it exactly into the middle point that you want it, but it's a lot easier to cut less, because if you do cut one side in more than the other, it's really hard to go back from that. So if you're not comfortable yet, I highly recommend you to start little and then lightly increase the amount you cut off. But as you can see, stiletto nails do take a lot longer to shape. And I am doing this a lot slower than I normally would. I want to fully show you guys exactly the process so you guys can learn well from it. But continue to move from side to side, light pressure, and continue to file until it is nice and even. That is key, and it is really, really important to achieving the perfect shape. And as you can see, the line is right down the middle, nice and straight where the point is at. So for our almond shape, I'm taking my craft scissors once again and cutting off any excess nail that I'm not going to need, just to make the filing process a lot faster. Now I'm not perfectly holding the file straight. I want to almost file the underneath of the nail to help get that roundness of the almond shape. So it is important to note that I'm not perfect when it comes to almond. I have this hate relationship with it. I can never seem to get it right. So this is the way I do it. This is my interpretation of it. A lot of people do it more on the round side, and that's perfectly fine. This is just what I consider almond. And as you can see, I'm filing the underside of it to round it off versus holding it super straight. This is how you're going to get that perfect round shape. And you can see that the white part of my file is showing a lot more because I'm filing the underneath of the nail. Now, of course, I'm going to continue to move from side to side until I'm happy. And again, that point needs to be nice and straight down the middle. Now for our thumbnail, we are doing round or oval. I do a mixture of both, and again, this is my preference. I don't actually do super round nails. So I'm nipping off just a little bit off the sides to make the filing process a lot faster. And here I'm going to be showing you exactly what I mean by pointing the file inwards. This is straight, and then I put it underneath the nail and start filing. So as you can see, this is going to help round the nail. It's filing the underneath of it into that perfect round shape. And this helps tremendously when getting those rounded edges because it files it super, super even. And again, I'm using light pressure, moving from left to right, right to left, and continuing to move back and forth until I'm happy with the shape. Once I get to the tip, I'm holding the file horizontally and then again filing back and forth underneath the nail. This is going to get that perfect rounded shape. Now it is a little difficult to explain all this, and there are so many things that play into whether a shape looks good or not. It's good to be aware of the shape of the fingers, the hand size, the length of the nails, and so many other things. Like if they're nail biters, this is going to play part in whether a shape looks good or not. So always be aware of this. Some shapes look better longer. If you are doing stiletto, I definitely highly recommend you guys do them longer. Almond is definitely one of those shapes that I absolutely adore doing on shorter nails, along with round, because they just look better shorter. I definitely did a set one time that was long and oval, and it did not look good. So this is basically what the nails look like once they are shaped. Now I'm going to be applying acrylic onto these just to show you exactly how you can keep the shape and not mess it up when you apply your acrylic. So here I am doing the tapered square one, and I'm just placing one bead in the middle and dragging it down, but I'm continuing to wipe the sides of the nails so that the shape doesn't get distortion when I apply that acrylic. So again, as you can see, it's a lot wider in the tip, and then I just wipe away and it solves the problem. You will get the hang of this, and it is easier, you know, once you get more comfortable with it. But as long as you're wiping the sides continuously and making sure you're tucking everything in, patting it down perfect, this is going to keep your shape intact and it's not going to get messed up. And for this set, I am using my Sculpt It Like It's Hot in the number 6 from Profiles Backstage. That is my acrylic brush. And I'm using their monomer as well. Everything will be linked in the description box. Make sure to use my discount codes to save a little bit of money. Always remember to get your liquid to powder ratio down right, and this will make everything so much easier as well. When you are trying to apply your acrylic perfect, that is what is going to make the difference. I have a video on that, so make sure you guys check it out. I do have a ton of beginner nail tech videos. I'm working on some more for you guys, so please be patient with me. So again, I am applying my bead of acrylic and wiping these sides down constantly. Again, as you can see, it messes up the shape, and as soon as I start wiping the sides and patting it into place, it makes a huge difference. So if you file at the beginning and then you apply your acrylic, and make sure you apply it perfect, when you get done with applying your acrylic, you're going to have to do the minimal amount of filing at the end because everything is already applied perfectly. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch the rest of the application process so you guys can kind of see exactly how I do it. Sometimes it's really hard for me to get my words out and explain things to you guys, so I'm just gonna let you guys kind of watch. Now that I'm all done with my application, you can see that the shape stayed pretty much intact. Now I'm just taking my hand file once again and just lightly filing the sides just to make sure everything is nice and straight. Again, because I tried to focus on my application process, the shape is still pretty much good, and all I have to do is smooth it out lightly and then file the surface of the nail. Make sure that the transition from the cuticle area down to the tip is nice and perfect. And I like to do this filing vertically up and down all the way through so I get a flawless transition. I'm gonna go ahead and file the rest of the nails, again lightly filing the sides and then the surface of the nail. Now that I'm done with all of these sides, I do recommend you guys turn over your hand to look at the nails from the client's perspective and then file the shape perfect. This is where you will be able to see if there are any imperfections, and it is important to note that the view from the client is a lot more important than your view. So sometimes they'll turn the hand around, and as you can see, in my eyes, the shape was perfect, but now that I turn it around, it's slanted slightly on the right side. So this is when I'm going to fix that, and then the client shouldn't have any concerns about the shape. And then of course for the stiletto, almond, and round, you don't have to do this. It's only for these squared shapes. And that basically concludes this video. I'm just going ahead and cleansing the surface of the nail, making sure that it is nice and dust free. I didn't apply top coat to this set because it wasn't really necessary and I wanted you guys to see it perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will catch you guys next time.